Hey everyone! Welcome back to SCUM for Beginners. Today, we're going to talk about some of the first things to do once you land on SCUM Island. Before we jump in, the SCUM devs have put a lot of work into creating a new tutorial system for beginners in the form of an AI entity called Dina. To activate her, go into your options and enable Dina and select the level of tips you'd like to receive. For this video, I'm going to have Dina turned off. So let's get into it. The game starts with your character getting pushed out of a plane with your hands tied behind your back. You don't actually have to press anything to struggle loose of the binds. This happens automatically. Once your hands are free, press F or space to deploy your parachute. You can use WASD to guide your player to land where you'd like. I recommend aiming towards the forest, as you'll need some of its supplies before moving towards civilization. You will land with nothing but the clothes on your back. But there are some things you can craft so you are better equipped to survive and handle enemies. To craft most things, you will need a knife. Click the tab key to open your inventory. This shows you what you have in your pockets and any holsters. Click on the crafting tab at the top of your screen. This will open a list of all available crafting recipes. The main page lists all recipes. You can make the search easier by clicking on the tabs, which break crafting recipes into categories of like items. Or you can use the search bar. Search for a knife. The search results give you two options, a stone knife and a metal knife. Click on the stone knife. This will activate a details button at the bottom of your screen. When you click this button, it shows us what ingredients are needed to craft this item. In this case, you need 2 stones. To find stones, you will need to search the environment for piles of rocks. These are usually easy to find. Once the search prompt appears, click the F button. After a short search animation, it may seem like nothing happened. That's because stones are pretty small, so you may not readily see them on the ground. However, if you open your inventory, they should display for you. One great thing about crafting in SCUM is that you don't have to hold the ingredients for a crafting recipe in your inventory in order to make it. As long as you are within proximity of the items on the ground, you can craft it. Now that you have what you need, craft the stone knife. Crafted items will appear on the ground, so don't forget to pick them up before moving to the next task. You can double-click the item to add it to your inventory, or click and drag it where you want it to go. With a stone knife in your inventory, you don't have much space left to store loot. To fix that, head back to the crafting menu and search for a backpack. In the search results, you will find an improvised backpack. Click on the Details tab to see what ingredients you need. An improvised backpack requires 3 rags, 10 lengths of rope, and a knife. You already have a knife, so back out of this screen and search for rope. From the results, click on the details for the branch rope to see what you need to make it. As you can see, you will need 5 short sticks. Head to the nearest bush and start cutting it down. You will use your stone knife to perform this action, which will slowly chip away at its durability. Eventually, the durability will get so low you will no longer be able to use it and will have to craft another one. Once the bush is cut down, open your inventory. You likely won't have enough small sticks this first time around. However, you can right-click on any long stick and chop it into small sticks. Now you have enough to craft the branch rope, so head back into the crafting menu and do so. Once crafted, make sure to place the rope in your inventory. Next, you need 3 rags. To get rags, you will need to cut up your clothing. Start with your undergarments and one at a time, cut them into rags. I don't recommend cutting up your socks, as prolonged movement without socks will result in foot abrasions. Your stone knife may also run out of durability during this process. Simply search for more stones and craft another one. Once you have the required rags, open the crafting menu and craft an improvised backpack. Once completed, right-click on the backpack and click Equip. Now that you have an expanded inventory, it's time to shift focus to defending yourself. I recommend crafting 2 weapons, one for long range and one for close range. Let's start with close range and craft a spear. Open your crafting menu and search for a spear. You have 2 options, a wooden spear or a stone spear. A wooden spear is very easy to make. You just need a long stick and a knife. A stone spear takes more ingredients, but they are all attainable ingredients and it does a little more damage, so the choice is yours. It takes a little more time and effort to make a stone spear, and if you would rather use that time to head out on your adventure, I wouldn't fault you for that. Once your spear is crafted, make sure to drag it from the ground to one of your holsters. I always put my melee weapon in slot 2, since I try to take down enemies from a distance as much as possible. Next, let's make a bow. Head back into the crafting menu and search for a bow. There are 2 bows you can make, a 20-pound bow and a 35-pound bow. This refers to the draw strength of the bow. I recommend crafting the 20-pound bow. For this recipe, you will need rope, a long stick, and a knife. Gather the ingredients you need, recrafting the stone knife if you need to. And once you're ready, craft the bow. Once the bow is crafted, drag it from the ground into a holster slot on your back. Lastly, you will need arrows. Once again, reopen the crafting menu and search for arrows. Click on the wooden arrows from the search results and click on details to learn the crafting recipe. You will only need small sticks to make arrows, so head to the nearest bush and start chopping. You can stack arrows in your inventory in groups of 12. When you take down puppets with arrows, you can, at times, get your arrows back. I recommend making 12 arrows minimum and keeping an eye on your arrow inventory as you play. Thankfully, they are easy to make, so you can replenish them regularly. Once crafted, double-click each arrow to add them to your inventory. With a backpack, spear, and bow and arrows in hand, you're now ready to start your survival adventure. Good luck, and see you on SCUM Island!